Welcome back. The SIR, or Special Intensive Revision, continues to be a focal point of politics, not just in Bihar, that is Patna, but also in Parliament of India. It has clearly turned into a full-blown political storm, with battle lines only sharpening. Today, the Chief Election Commissioner himself stepped in with a strong message saying that the poll body cannot come under influence. He raised a question: can dead, those who have migrated, be on the list? He further went on to say, should foreigners be allowed on voter list? He asked, what is the objection to SIR about? He then said that pure voter list is foundation of democracy and allowing ineligible people to vote is against the constitution. On one side, former Deputy Chief Minister and Leader of Opposition in Bihar Assembly, Tejasvi Yadav, has raised the stakes, threatening a poll boycott, claiming this is a ploy to manipulate Bihar's mandate. On the other hand, the BJP has hit back, calling Tejasvi a loser, looking for excuses. Remember, the SIR process is also about cleaning up the rolls. That's what the Election Commission is claiming, that this is about removing duplicates, deleting names of the dead and adding those left out. It's something that the Election Commission does to make sure the foundation of democracy, the voter list, is pure. So why this outrage? Tejasvi Yadav and the opposition say the timing is a suspect, that this is BJP's tool to target the Yadav Muslim vote base in Bihar. BJP's counter is, they say that Tejasvi is staring at defeat and is trying to delegitimize the process before a single vote is cast. Here's the perspective. India is headed into a massive election cycle. The Election Commission is under the scanner like never before. Every decision, every revision order becomes political ammunition. But if SIR is essential to weed out bogus voters, should any party oppose it? Or is this about fear of losing the arithmetic advantage? On the show tonight, let's bring in the guests. But first up, here's BJP MP from Bihar, Rajiv Pratap Rudy. Mr. Rudy, there is a lot of discussion outside Parliament and inside as well on the special intensive revision. Government has, of course, indicated that it is unlikely that there will be a discussion inside Parliament because the matter is being taken up in the Supreme Court. The issue has been taken up, but if you look at the ground, since you are, you're an MP from Saran, Bihar has immense challenges, particularly of the migrant population. Do you think this revision exercise is a fair exercise, given the fact that there was a revision only in the month of January?
Well, getting back to your question, I'll answer. I think you have put 3 or 4 questions together. So let me answer it one by one. First, you say that the opposition is protesting inside Parliament, inside Bihar Assembly, outside Parliament. Now, their first protest started when they went to the Supreme Court. And where they said that this process should be stayed. Now, the Parliament is a constitutional body. The Supreme Court is a constitutional body. They do not get any relief. The Supreme Court does not stay the process of intensive revision. So that is over. Now we have the Parliament session over. Now, in the Parliament session, there is no session is going on, and they come out and they scream and they shout, and they said that everything is going bonkers and we cannot accept it. Today, the Election Commission in Bihar has come out that there possibly 55 or 60 lakh voters do not exist. So, are they fighting a battle for the invisible voters? Where are these voters? And if they don't exist, how can you put them on the voter list? Then coming back to your third or fourth question, when you said that you had the elections at a given period of time. But the fact is, in these elections, we did fairly well. And we did it very well. In that situation, why should we want that revision to take place? Now, the intensive revision, which is happening today, is happening after 2000, roughly about after 21 years. And it is a process. Now, who is authorized for this process? The Election Commission. The only challenge here is the opposition party, instead of going to the people and getting more voters registered, they are working hard to see that, find out where are the invisible voters, which they think are their voters. So can I question these people? Are they depending, or their politics is dependent on these invisible voters?
But sir, how is it really about the invisible voters? It is about whether this exercise is about elimination, whether it is being seen that this is about exclusion rather than inclusion. And I'm sure even in your constituency, there is a high percentage of migrant voters. I mean, those who work outside Bihar. The question is, have you ensured that all of them are now registered? They have filled the forms.
Maria, you from our state, and in fact, you are from the school where I have studied, and you must have not been born when I studied in your school called Notre Dame. We know Bihar very well. So please, for one thing, you must remember that a particular Bihari, whether he's a rich or is a poor or is a downtrodden Bihari, he has got every piece of paper with him when he has to prove his existence in Bihar. So the migrant doesn't mean that all these people who have gone out from Bihar have left, their entire family has moved out and they don't have any proof. Point A, all of them are getting registered. And if I have to look at my constituency, the migrant laborers or migrants you call, those migrants who have settled out, they have chosen to get their votes registered in respective constituencies, have no business whatsoever to stay back in my constituency. Secondly, if there are voters who legitimately have moved out, but they have submitted enough proof that they are staying here, their parents are staying there, the children are staying there, they are here very much. This is the Election Commission is identifying those who are dead, which is roughly about 18 lakhs, those who do not figure anywhere, the invisible voters, which the political parties opposing us are trying to find out. My submission is they should find out these voters. And this process is going for a draft publication. So once the draft publication is not there, so we actually do not know whose name is there. Mr. Rajiv Pratap's, Rudy's name is there, or Shakil's, Maria's name is there, or not there. So once the draft publication is there, please come back to us and say that, look, these are the voters who exist and do not exist on the voter list. We can understand. In anticipation of a decision of laborers who do not exist or those who are dead or do not exist, we are raising a hue and cry saying that, look, the process of inclusion is being denied and this. We should work hard to see that those people who are being left out or would be left out after the notification should be included. And this is the job of the Election Commission. They have to publish the rules and we have to notify them, tell them that this is wrong. There is a process of correction. So where is this panic about? Where is this panic about what? Are they foreseeing the defeat in the elections? Or they depended on this invisible, fictitious votes for the elections? What is the problem?
The opposition says that if there was an exercise carried out 6 months ago in the month of January, then why again?
Maria, absolutely correct. That was a summary revision. So the process, in the process of election, they conduct summary revision and they also conduct intensive revision. Now, this is a process of intensive revision. And if you have any projection, if you have any objections to the intensive revision, if the voters are being left out, they are being discriminated, you have every platform to bring out. So I would request these political parties to please come out and please put up the names of those who do not get published without a proof, without an action. When the process is on, you are raising a hue and cry, because certainly now I'm confirmed after this furor which has been created that the existence of certain political parties in Bihar did happen mainly because they depended mainly on this invisible voters who do not exist and they have no right. So right voters cannot be denied their appearance on the voter list and the wrong voters have to be deleted. And this is what the Election Commission under the Constitution should be doing. And that's my view.
But Mr. Rudy, one view certainly is, and this is concerning, that the elections in Bihar will not have a level playing field. Tejasvi Yadav is saying that the election will not be free and fair, and because of this entire exercise, and hence the opposition is looking at boycotting this election because Tejasvi is saying that BJP is trying to steal the election, something that even Rahul Gandhi said in the context of Maharashtra.
So it's a fantastic statement made by Tejasvi Yadav. You see, when this statement is made by Tejasvi, who is Tejasvi? Mr. Tejasvi Yadav is son of Lalu Prasad Yadav, a former Chief Minister of Bihar. Tejasvi Prasad Yadav is the son of Rabdi Devi, former Chief Minister of Bihar, and he himself has been the Deputy Chief Minister in Bihar and is a leader of the opposition, not a small person. Now, there can be only two aspects when he says that he's going to boycott the elections. A, possibly he has realized that there is no future for his political party, so he wants to run away, leave the field and say that this was a bogus election or a scam or whatever, and he wants to run away. B, he's doing politics. But for as far as Rajiv Pratap Rudy is concerned, I would consider that I can make out, for whatever reason, that he has realized that he has no future in Bihar and that the ground is sliding below him. So possibly he wants to run away from the election. That is the question which you should ask him, that how can he run away from the election and his voters will not leave him together. So I believe that this is a ploy for him, but and defeat is there in the future. So I visualize it as a politician from Bihar. You may have a different view, he may have a different view, but he is in a runaway mood from Bihar.
All right, Mr. Rudy, appreciate your time. Let me shift focus to RJD MP who's joining us now. Abhay Kumar is an MP from Aurangabad in Bihar. अभय जी, जब तेजस्वी यादव बोलते हैं कि बॉयकॉट के अलावा उनके पास कोई विकल्प नहीं है, क्या आपको नहीं लगता कि ये जो पूरा एक्सरसाइज है जो चुनाव का है, वो उसमें फिर चुनाव क्या होगा अगर जो प्रिंसिपल ऑपोजिशन है वो चुनाव में नहीं रहे तो?
देखिए, अगर भाजपा को ये लग रहा है कि हम लोग चुनाव हार रहे हैं इसलिए भाग रहे हैं, लेकिन इस पर मैं ये जरूर कहूँगा आपको कि ये एनडीए गठबंधन को लग रहा है कि महागठबंधन इस बार बिहार में पूरी मजबूत स्थिति में है, तो हम महागठबंधन को कैसे पराजित करें, उसके लिए ये एक हथकंडा लेकर के ये मतदाता पुनरीक्षण के रूप में इन्होंने लेकर के आने का काम किया है। और मतदाताओं का अधिकार बचाने के लिए हमारे नेता को जिस हद तक के जाना पड़ेगा उस हद तक के हम तमाम लोग जाने के लिए तैयार हैं, क्योंकि ये निश्चित तौर पर हम कह सकते हैं कि ये लोकतंत्र पर बहुत बड़ा प्रहार है। संविधान पर ये आघात जैसा कार्यक्रम इन्होंने लाने का काम किया है। मैडम, भारतीय जनता पार्टी और देश के जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी हैं, मैं दावे के साथ कह सकता हूं कि देश के आम आवाम का विश्वास एनडीए गठबंधन से और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी पर से निश्चित तौर पर उठा है। ये 2024 में ही नारा दे रहे थे ये प्रधानमंत्री जी 400 पार, लेकिन क्या हुआ, 240 पर अटक गए। तो इनका एक तरह का ये नया शगुफा है, गरीब गुरुआ वंचित जो समाज है उनको हम मत देने से कैसे वंचित रख सके, इसके लिए ये मतदाता पुनरीक्षण का कार्यक्रम ये लेकर के आए हैं। और इसका विरोध हम लोग शुरू से ही कर रहे हैं। हम लोग चुनाव आयोग में भी इंडिया गठबंधन के सारे लोग हम लोग गए और बखूबी निर्वाचन आयोग के अध्यक्ष जी को विस्तृत ब्यौरा हम लोगों ने देने का काम किया कि आखिर इतनी जल्दबाजी क्यों है भाई, क्यों इतनी जल्दीबाजी में इस काम को आप करना चाहते हैं, इसके पीछे मंशा क्या है। निश्चित तौर पर इनके पीछे जो मंशा है इनकी, वो बहुत भयानक मंशा है, खराब। हमने कहा कि अभी एक तरफ जहां सुखाड़ आती है वही एक तरफ पे बिहार बाढ़ में ग्रसित रहता है। अभी कई कोई इलाका ऐसा है, आप भी बिहार से हैं, आपको पता होगा कि कई इलाका ऐसा है जहां आम आवाम पदाधिकारी तो कोई जा ही नहीं रहे हैं। और आपने देखा होगा कि ये जब कार्यक्रम चल रहा था तो उसी दल के भारतीय जनता पार्टी के महिला जिला अध्यक्ष इस पुनरीक्षण कार्यक्रम में वो लगे हुए हैं। एक जिला पदाधिकारी जो जिला के निर्वाचन अधिकारी होते हैं वो अपने बीएलओ से कह रहे हैं कि घर घर जाकर के फार्म देने की और लाने की जरूरत नहीं है, सब अपने से भर करके और जमा कर दो। तो ये क्या इनकी मंशा दर्शाती है? निश्चित तौर पर इनकी मंशा वोट को जिस तरह से नोटबंदी इन्होंने लाने का काम किया था, एक तरह से ये वोट बंदी लाने का काम
लेकिन
किए।
अभय जी, सवाल ये है कि अगर आप चुनाव से भागे या चुनाव का बहिष्कार करेंगे तो एनडीए तो फिर बिना किसी चुनौती के जीत जाएगी। और अगर बिहार के लोग, जैसा कि आप कह रहे हैं कि वो आपके साथ हैं, तो वो तो आपका समर्थन देंगे। अगर जो उनका वोट होगा तो वो समर्थन में आपके आगे आएंगे।
देखिए मैडम, ये अभी इतना ही खेला ये नहीं करेंगे, अभी इसके पीछे बहुत सारा खेला इनका बाकी है। इन्होंने एक आंकड़ा कल भारत निर्वाचन आयोग ने जारी किया, उसने दिया कि प्राप्त गणना पत्र की संख्या दिया 7,16,00,000, जिसमें डिजिटाइड किए गए गणना दिया 7,13,00,000 समथिंग 65,000।
जी।
मृत लोगों के आंकड़ा दिए कि 18 लाख तकरीबन 66,000 मृत हैं। स्थानांतरित 26 लाख। एक जगह से मतलब दो जगह पे नाम तकरीबन 7.5 लाख लोगों का है। तकरीबन 52 लाख लोगों का तो इन्होंने अभी आंकड़ा दे दिया है। लेकिन ये जो प्राप्त गणना जो पत्र 7,16,00,000 प्राप्त हुआ है, अब इस पे भी वो खेला करेंगे कि इसमें से चिन्हित कर करके जो महागठबंधन के कोर वोटर हैं उनको चिन्हित कर करके इस जमा किए गए मतगणना पत्र से वो छाटेंगे। किसी में कोड लगाएंगे कि इसमें ये पेपर नहीं है, इसमें ये पेपर नहीं दिया हुआ है। तो इनका ये खेल चलेगा और हम लोग इसका पूरी तो चर्चा क्यों नहीं कराते? क्या जरूरी है इतना जल्दी भाई? मैं समझता हूं कि इतनी जल्दीबाजी में ये क्यों करना चाहते हैं। आपने वोटर आईडी कार्ड को आधार नहीं माना। एक समय आप कहते रहे कि वोटर आईडी कार्ड बनाइए, वोटर आईडी कार्ड बनाइए। सब लोग बनाए आधार कार्ड से लोग जुड़िए। अब सब लोग जुड़ रहे हैं तो आप आधार कार्ड को भी नहीं मान रहे हैं। तो निश्चित तौर पर इनकी मंशा जो है वो साफ है कि अब ये वोट की बंदी ला करके बिहार ही नहीं बल्कि अन्य राज्यों में भी इसका ये बड़े पैमाने पर खेला करना चाहते हैं।
ऑल राइट, अभय जी हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए शुक्रिया। लेट मी ब्रिंग इन सागरिका घोष नाउ, मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट ऑफ द तृणमूल कांग्रेस. Ma'am, thank you for speaking to NDTV. The Election Commission has now indicated that this exercise, which is happening in Bihar of SIR, which is the special intensive revision, will happen in other states as well, Bengal, Assam, and others. Your party colleague Mahua Moitra is part of those petitioners who have challenged this entire exercise in the court. What is the Trinamool Congress planning to do?
We are opposed to this special intensive revision exercise of the Election Commission on multiple levels. The first fundamental flaw, the reason why we oppose it conceptually, we oppose it on the basis of principle, we oppose it on the basis of the Constitution, is that its focus is exclusion, not inclusion. SIR is an exclusionary exercise. It is not an inclusionary exercise. It is forcing citizens to undergo a citizenship test. Citizens have to prove their citizenship and prove whether they are eligible to vote to the Election Commission. Now, the Election Commission has to answer, is it trying to clean up electoral rolls or is it trying to create a voters register? Is it trying to create a citizenship register? Establishing citizenship and establishing a citizenship register is not the job of the Election Commission. The Election Commission is not here to decide who is a citizen and who is not. The Election Commission is only mandated to clean up the electoral rolls and to ensure the sanctity of the electoral rolls. When citizens are producing every proof of their citizenship, how can they be excluded from these electoral rolls? So we are opposing this SIR on a conceptual level, on a principled level, on the point of view of the constitution, from the point of view of the nasty politics that the BJP is playing through this special intensive revision. I also want to make a second point. All this time, the Election Commission has been going on about linking Aadhaar card. For the last decade, the EC is screaming Aadhaar, Aadhaar, Aadhaar. Suddenly, in this special intensive revision, the Election Commission is saying Aadhaar is no longer adequate proof of citizenship. Then why were you screaming Aadhaar for the last decade? So this is another flaw in this particular special intensive revision. The third is that there is vast empirical evidence now emerging, Maria, that many voters across Bihar, migrants, poor, those who are going in from state to state in search of work, they are finding it difficult to find these documents. They are finding it difficult to furnish these documents that the EC is wanting. They do not have the kind of documents that the EC is demanding. On a practical level, on a physical level, this is a completely misguided exercise, and it is basically an exercise to disenfranchise the poorest. And it is against the basic structure of the Constitution because it is snatching away the right to vote. It is taking away the right to vote. Instead of affirming the right to vote, it is denying the right to vote. Now, the reason why we are going to oppose this tooth and nail in Bengal is because we feel that Bengal is the real target. It is being done in Bihar, but the real target is Bengal. The BJP has lost 2 elections in Bengal, 2021, 2024. Now this is just a conspiracy by the BJP acting through the Election Commission to disenfranchise, take away the right to vote from lakhs of Bengal voters, which is why we're seeing an all-out attack today on Bangla-speaking people. Bangla-speaking migrants across BJP-ruled states are being harassed, they're being detained, they're being put in detention camps, they're being called Bangladeshi, they're being called Rohingya. This is a concerted attempt by the BJP to take away the right to vote from the voters of Bihar and from the voters of Bengal, and they are going to do it across the country. They are basically taking away the right to vote from the poorest of the poor. I also want to make one point. Maria, that in January this year itself, the EC had conducted a detailed revision. The EC in January this year itself had conducted a detailed revision of the Bihar electoral roll. In January this year, in 2025, the EC had conducted a detailed revision of the Bihar electoral roll. What suddenly changed in 6 months? That in the monsoon months, suddenly you decided within 3 months, that Bihar elections are just 3 months away, you're going to go in for this special intensive revision when you've already done a revision in January. So the whole thing is aside, it is unconstitutional, it is illegal, it is an attempt to deprive the poorest of the poor of the right to vote.
But the Election Commission, ma'am, has said that this is a pure voter list, that a pure voter list has been prepared for a fair election. That's what their defense is, that why should those who are not supposed to be voting in India be given a chance to vote?
But the fact is, the Election Commission is not being transparent, is not being open about this procedure. Do you know that there are 5 documents in the document list that the EC is demanding from people to prove their eligibility to vote? There are 5 documents in this document list which do not actually give place of birth and date of birth. This is a story that has come out in the Hindu. There are 5 documents that the EC is demanding that do not display place of birth and date of birth. So why are they asking for these documents? And why is it that the EC, the Election Commission, if it wants to clean up electoral rolls, why isn't it recognizing the trials and tribulations that are being faced by ordinary voters on a daily basis, which the newspapers are reporting on a daily basis? People are not being able to get these documents. So is the idea to clean up the electoral roll, or is the idea to harass and torture people who do not have these documents that the EC is demanding? Also, the arbitrary cutoff date of 2003, which the EC has imposed, that if in 2003, if you were on the electoral rolls, you're fine, but if you voted after that, you're not fine. But the fact is, there have been 5 general elections in Bihar after 2003. There have been 5 assembly elections after 2003. So is the EC suggesting that the voters who have voted in the 5 general elections and the 5 assembly elections after 2003 are fraudulent? Is the Election Commission suggesting that those who have voted after 2003 in the 5 general elections and the 5 assembly elections, are they all fraudulent voters, according to the Election Commission? This whole attempt is to exclude people. It is not an attempt to properly clean up the electoral rolls. If it was an attempt to properly clean up the electoral rolls, then why has the EC not responded to the many instances that the opposition has laid out about electoral roll irregularities, duplicate epic cards? We in the Trinamool Congress have been repeatedly raising the issue of duplicate epic cards. We are raising the issue of duplicate epic cards for the last 6 months. The EC has said it will work on these duplicate epic cards. Nothing has happened so far. So you've not taken action on duplicate epic cards. You've not taken action on the surge of voters that other opposition parties are alluding to, that suddenly the lakhs of voters who have been added to the electoral rolls. You are not attempting to address any of the opposition's concerns. Also, Maria, if the EC was cleaning up the electoral rolls, then a huge decision like this, a massive decision like this, surely you should have called an all-party meeting before you took the decision, before you announced this decision. We are major stakeholders in the electoral process. We are political parties. Why not hold an all-party meeting? Why not hold a dialogue? Why not have a proper dialogue process with all stakeholders? Instead, you just went and announced it in a very clandestine, suspicious manner, which casts suspicions on the motives of the EC.
Since you're saying that the real target is Bengal and it's only happening in Bihar, Tejasvi Yadav has said that the Mahagathbandhan parties may contemplate even boycotting the polls. Is that something that the TMC plans to do as well, or could do when the elections are held next year?
The Trinamool Congress, from our point of view, we can only comment on what our leader is saying. We will not allow this special intensive revision process to exclude crores and crores of bona fide Indian citizens. We will not allow mass exclusion of Indian citizens. We are already taking up the case of Bangla-speaking migrants who are being harassed in BJP-ruled states. We are taking up the case where where Bangla-speaking migrants are being picked up, they're being put into detention centers, they're being tortured. Sometimes they're even being given into the hands of the BSF and pushed into Bangladesh. So we are taking up all these issues. Our stand is perfectly clear. If there are illegal migrants who are coming in, whose responsibility is it? Who guards the borders? Who guards the borders? It's the Border Security Force. Who does the Border Security Force come under? Mr. Amit Shah. Why doesn't Mr. Amit Shah protect the borders? Why doesn't Mr. Amit Shah stop illegal migrants? Why doesn't the Border Security Force stop illegal migrants? They don't want to stop illegal migrants. You are abdicating responsibility of protecting the borders. You can't stop terrorists from coming into Pahalgam and attacking innocent tourists. You can't stop illegal migrants from coming in. But you want to play politics with citizens of India. That is the dirty politics of the BJP. If you really want to protect the borders, then make the BSF stop these illegal migrants from coming in.
Ghosh, a Member of Parliament of the Trinamool Congress, really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts. That's all from me on this edition of The Last Word. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.